Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Heaven's Word? No. Dawntrail? Yeah, that's what it is. I had this whole bit set up, and I messed it up. I was gonna say Luncheon Dasher as the next expansion, but obviously that's not gonna work. Anyway, I love doing the hunt. And if you've never been in those piles of players that are just flying around, going to the different hunt targets when there's a train or a boat or whatever have you flying around, it's a sight to see. And with the launch of Dawntrail, they gave us a new thing to ride. Specifically this little guy here, or this big guy rather, which we saw in one of the dungeons. And when we take off, woo! Spin it all around here. Yeah, this is a crazy way to travel. Anyway, we are gonna head over to Tuliolol because we are checking out the Wachumeqimeqi quest line today. And yeah, it's gonna be focused around crafters and gatherers today. So let's hit up the Aetheryte. And real quick before we hit that, because I forgot to do this before the start, I need to send my gatherers out once again. There we go. And let me get the other one out. Whoops. Off you go. Alright, so Wachumeqimeqi and similar events like it before in the prior expansions basically allow you a way to level up your crafters and gatherers quickly. Now in my case, most of my stuff is already leveled, but there are some jobs that still have a bit to go here. Leatherworker in particular, Culinarian as well as Goldsmith. And then the rest of these are 98 at this point, aside from Carpenter, which is already at level 100. Then I've also got my Botanist, Miner, and Fisher I need to get up. Usually Fisher is on its own for what it asks you for. We may not get through that one since that's not as high as the other ones, but we'll see how things go. Anyway, let's speak to Ropley. Well, if it isn't Prince, forgive me, but I couldn't help but notice the tools you're carrying on your person. You wouldn't happen to be a skilled tradesman, would you? As I mentioned when you visited alongside the Third Promise, Wachumeqimeqi is in dire need of skilled artisans like Fontaine. A number of our shops are beset with problems large and small, you see, and having the assistance of one such as you would be most welcome. Of course, a service rendered is a service paid for, and we've plenty of scripts with which we can fill your pockets. Procuring supplies from the open seas has brought no small number into my possession, and I understand that the currency is also used extensively across the salt. With that said, I'd like to first introduce you to the folks you'll be working with. You need to decide right away, of course. Take your time to consider my offer and come speak with me again once you've made up your mind. Oh, my mind's already made up. Come to take me up on my offer, I see. Just one last thing before we go. In the language of my people, Wachumeqimeqi means House of Countless Beads. I see the market as a home where folks of all kinds may come connect, and carve out a niche for themselves. Please bear this in mind, as you may encounter things to which you are not accustomed. Now then, off we go. And just as a heads up, it is July 4th for me, so I basically have a time limit of when the fireworks start going off, and it becomes too noisy for me to continue today. But that's still several hours away, I'm hoping at least. Good, that's nearly everyone. I thought it best if they were aware of who you are before you show up on their doorstep to offering your services. Let's go in order, shall we? Starting with Shralsaj Metalwares. Shralsaj deals in all things metal, particularly when it comes to daily necessities. Unfortunately, she's been recently confronted with an issue that's put her very reputation at stake. She seeks a metal worker that understands the importance of punctuality. Next we have Epistles by Pamika, whose eponymous owner pens official documents, transcribes letters for those who cannot do so themselves, and more. She's presently in need of one skilled in treating parchment, textiles, leather, and the like. She rolled Juicecraft serves some of the most unique beverages I dare say one will ever encounter. It's just a shame no one's lining up to drink them. If you have any expertise with the culinary arts or alchemy, I would love for you to assist her in revitalizing her shop. Fish Fancy's Danu Hanu is a bit of an eccentric establishment. You see, Danu Hanu deals in fish that he fancies. Unfortunately for him, his tastes are a touch too unconventional for your average customer, and he's anxious sales may not pick up. As for Shunye's Apothecary, I regret to say that its owner was unable to spare even a moment for introductions. That said, if you fancy yourself a miner or gatherer, you'll undoubtedly find his wares of great interest. Shunye deals in all sorts of curious flora and minerals, you see. Alas, his sole employee appears to be in poor shape, and I grow more worried about the store by the day. I believe that covers everything, more or less. It is my wish that both customers and shop owners feel mutual satisfaction with their transactions in the market, that this house of countless beads may shine more brilliantly than ever. With your help, I believe that wish will come true. I look forward to seeing what you accomplish, Prince. Alrighty. You may now undertake Wachumeqimeqi deliveries, seek out shopkeepers in need of aid, and lend them a helping hand to make their markets a brighter place, one store at a time. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and start into our first one here. And I'm thinking, let's go ahead and help out those folks that are having trouble with gathering. So that is actually over here. You're a man who plucks the finest of the land's offerings with their own hands, am I right? Aha, I knew at the moment I set eyes upon you. I share the same passion, in fact, or at least I used to. For many happy years did I work in the employ of Shunye's Apothecary, gathering only specimens of the utmost quality. Alas, such work wears on the body, and mine has about had its fill. Every day my knees and back make new cries of protest, so I have finally decided to leave this business to younger hands. And yours look fit to succeed me, maybe even surpass me. I reckon you'd fill my old position at Shunye's Apothecary nicely. You will fill it, won't you? I'd hate for Shunye to be left alone to prop up such a bustling business. Consider the opportunity. I promise you'd be hard-pressed to find a better man to work for. You can find him at the far end of the marketplace. At least, go and see what he's about, will you? Alright, now we're headed to the east here. Oh, hello there. Apologies for not noticing you. A merchant's work is endless, you see, and I find myself short-handed these days. Welcome to Shunye's Apothecary, friend. Are you searching for something specific? Perhaps one of my displays caught your eye. I've seen that look before. You're wondering just what sort of shop this is. To put it simply, I purvey in goods which promote a healthy body and mind. Herbs to cleanse mild ailments, incense to calm the senses, stones to massage aching shoulders, and much more, as you can see. Naturally, this requires the use of various plants and minerals which possess uncommon, and some would even say mystical, properties, which I acquire from discerning and trusted gatherers. However, the flow of goods has recently slowed to a trickle, and I found it difficult to keep my shelves stocked. You may find my selection somewhat wanting, if I'm being honest. So you must be the gatherer Rumpley spoke of. Are you here to offer your services? Of course, I'm more than grateful for the help. I hope this is the start of a mutually pleasant relationship, Prince. Excuse me, but are you the proprietor of this shop? Is it true that you are of the Shitona tribe? Yes, on both counts. What brings you to Shunya's apothecary, friend? I am Uvlo Gadjeswith. I hope I said that right. I hail from the village of Kuguma, located on the eastern continent of Othard. I was traveling the 3 great continents in an effort to expand my horizons, when I learned of a people similar to the Vieira who live in Tyrol. I wished to learn all I could of them, so I boarded the first ship across the sea I could find. Once at port, I asked where I might find any Shitona, and was pointed right here. Please, allow me to serve you. I can hunt, I can fight, and I can gather. Surely one of my skills can be of use. All I ask in return is that you teach me of your people. What a day this has turned out to be. One moment desperate for help, the next spoiled for choice. Uvlo, was it? I know you've come far, and I can sense your sincerity, but my conversation doesn't fetch so high a price. Simply purchase one of my wares, and we can chat for as long as you like. I have no money. Spend it all to get on the ship, or did you stow away? Not even a single coin. I spent my very last one hiring a ship to bring me here. Then I can't very well expect your custom, can I? Apologies for the interruption. Where were we? Yes. Would you agree to a small test of your talents before we begin our work in earnest? I suppose I'll be testing you too. That is, of course, assuming you still wish to work for me. Of course, I'm at your disposal. You only need tell me what to do. Then your task is simple. Bring me goods that I can sell to eager customers. There's no better way to take stock of your talents. Alright. These deliveries are unlocked. Now, shall we get started? I want both of you to head to Urkapacha and bring me an assortment of my most popular staples. Namely, I'm looking for maca, a plant which imparts unflagging vigor, and springstone, which is used to warm the body and soothe aches in the muscles. You can bring me whichever is easier for you to gather. Either will sell just as quickly. Since this is only a trial, let's start with, say, 6 or so? 6 springstones from Urkapacha. Understood. I shall return with haste. Okay, so now we just have to deliver these with as high a collectability as possible. You can find the staples I require in Ukapacha. Either the maca or springstone will suffice. And then this is just a help message here. And so we need to basically gather these collectibles here now. And as you can see, as we do them, we're going to get gatherer scripts as well as experience for each one of these. Alright, so... no, they said maca or... the other one was... springstone. Okay. So now, if I go into my gathering log, I go under side quests. No, it's not under side quests. Okay, so actually they're making it a little bit more difficult here. Because they actually want you to go out and find this stuff. Okay. And then just real quick here, Ukapacha. Alright, got it. Alright, I'm just checking something out real quick here. Okay. So again, we recently got gathering together. Or rather, we got flying together yesterday. So this should at least make things go fairly quickly here. Alright, that's not what we're looking for. Yeah, there's no reference even if I do an item search. Under either name, actually. So, yeah, we gotta just find it. This might be for something different. Let me see. Oh, no, this is it. This is it. Okay. Alright, what I want to do is I want to have some food to get my gathering up. Let's see if that's enough to trigger this. Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. So, oh, but it's a different kind that I need. I need the one where it gives more attempts. But it looks like I'm not having any luck on that. So, okay, that's fine. So we're just gonna go for the staple then. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go scrutiny, along with collector's focus. Okay. So now I can just hit this with a meticulous woodman. Okay, integrity not reduced. Nice. Now, technically, I don't need to go any higher than this to get full credit. So this will be fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and hit collect once. And now I'm going to hit ageless words. And there's a 50-50 chance of also getting wise to the world. So that gets my integrity all the way back up to 4. So we'll go collect. Collect. And now we're going to hit this again. And looks like we're going to get all of them in a single go. Alright, let's head back to Tuliyola. Alright, let's go hand these in. You can find... Okay, we've already seen them say that. Okay, so we need to give them 6. Oh, actually, I gathered one more than I needed. Okay, no problem. Alright, so this is going to give us just under 9 million experience in a single shot here. That was quicker than I expected. Let's see. Oh my, this delivery is better than I could have imagined. Almost too good, in fact. My customers might come to take such quality for granted. Thank you for your hard work. It's always comforting to see my shelves stocked. In making your first successful delivery, you have begun to earn Shunya's trust. Deliver the items Shunya needs, and deliver them often to improve the prospects of Shunya's apothecary. So I think I'm going to take Botanist up to the level 95 stuff, and then from there I'll use the rest of them to finish up Miner. I must say, there's no greater reassurance than knowing I have wares to sell. Even though this was but a trial run, you conduct yourself flawlessly. Actually, I might start Miner at 95. We'll see. Truth be told, when I first began this endeavor, I didn't imagine I would sell such a wide array of goods. But health is a goal we all share, and there are any number of ways to pursue it. Take maca, for instance. It thrives in the harsh climates of Urkopacha, accumulating nutrients from its unique environment. It has been a favorite since time immemorial for its nutritional value and invigorating properties. Springstone, on the other hand, is a type of volcanic rock. It retains heat rather well, so after a bit of polishing and warming, you can place it in your pocket or directly on the skin. Even in the hotter regions, it's used to relieve stiff muscles and troublesome aches. I know you came to me seeking gainful employment, but you must place your own health first and foremost. If anything ever ails you, I would welcome your custom with open arms. Speaking of which, you haven't seen Uvlo, have you? I hope he hasn't gotten lost. Judging by his story, he arrived in Tyrol only shortly before visiting my shop. His confident stride suggested he knew where he was going, but how could he? I am returned, Master Shunya. I hope my deliveries meet with your satisfaction. Well, I suppose there was no need to worry. Yes, these are good. They'll certainly sell. Forgive my imposition, but have you been to Tyrol before? or did you hire someone to guide you? Neither. This is my first time in Tyrol, and I have no money for a guide. Yet this city is home to a great many people. If you ask around for information, you can piece together any puzzle in time. That is, of course, if you have the patience to do so. Does this mean you've reached a decision regarding my employment? Indeed. You did well today. So, for the time being, I have no objection to continuing our business relationship. And of course, I'd like to continue working with you as well, Prince. However, I understand you aren't the type to stay in one place over long. Let's keep it simple, shall we? Stop by whenever you have time for a few tasks, and I shall recompense you accordingly. Then it's settled. Don't be a stranger, Prince. Prince, forgive my rudeness for not introducing myself sooner. I am Uvlo, of Kugama Village. I hope to learn much from someone of your experience. Just as I hope to learn about the Shitona from you, Master Shunya. May we all prosper under your tutelage. Well, I may prove to be a worthless teacher in that regard, but I suppose I can try. As for our mutual prosperity, that depends on us. That is to say, we need to get selling. My customers will be pleased to see my stocks replenished at last. Shunya is pleased with your efforts. He now considers you a greenhorn gatherer. Alright, on to the next one. Good evening, Prince. Are you here for more work? I could certainly use the help. Thank you. Having another deft hand at my disposal will speed things along. Has Uvlo adjusted to life in Tuliolol? He's settled into his work rather well, but outside of that, let's just say his complete lack of funds has proven to be a hurdle. He couldn't even afford to lodge himself. He assured me that he has no qualms sleeping under the stars, but I can't very well have my employees camping in the wilds like common vagabonds. In the end, I invited him to live with me. He may not always think ahead, but it's plain that in all other respects, he's quite thorough. He's neat and organized, has never once been late, and is ever quick to ask questions when something confounds him. I suppose this is a natural consequence of his upbringing. He said he never lacked for mentors growing up. A much different life than the one I led. The men of my people spend much of their time alone, and as a result, many of us develop habits more lax than not, myself included. Even so, I find his scrupulous attitude refreshing. Is there work to be done? Just so, Uvlo. If you're finished taking stock, I would ask that you accompany Prince to gather a few more things to sell. Of course, working with someone more experienced than myself is always a pleasure. Good. Today will be very similar to last time. I want you to bring me more of my popular products, namely those that benefit the soul. Firstly, cutting from a fragrant tree that is said to purify the body of toxins. Secondly, a type of amethyst that's treasured in Yogg-Tyrol for its purported ability to calm troubled spirits. While usage of these items differs slightly depending on the customer's cultural practices, they are generally thought to ward off evil humors accumulated in the mind, body, and soul. Fascinating. Wood and stones? I thought health to be the realm of medicine and alchemy. It makes me wonder what hidden powers the objects arrayed here might possess. Of course, I only sell products of proven repute, but even that is no guarantee that an item which positively affects one person will do the same for another. Some even purchase goods based solely on the fact that they are pleasing to the eye. Salves take many forms, as I've learned. That explains the sheer variety. Do you travel the continent in search of new goods? Aha, not quite. I depend on gatherers such as yourselves mostly. That and a handful of trusted merchants. I dare not leave the shop unattended for long, you see. And, well, I have my reasons for not often venturing beyond the city's gates. But enough of that, yes? There's work to be done. You can find what I need in the northern region of Wachumeqimeqi. As always, the higher the quality of your delivery, the better your rewards shall be. Wachumeqimeqi, okay. I would like to test my hand at collecting both, Prince. I hardly suspect you require any practice, so I trust you will decide which task better suits your skills. Okay, so we need to get something from Wachumeqimeqi. Wares which cater to our spiritual needs are popular amongst customers old and new. I would have you gather the finest of them from Wachumeqimeqi. Okay, and so once again, we just need to hit collectability of 600. Now, they said the northern side of Wachumeqimeqi. We'll see how north that actually means. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the level 95 ones on minor, just because I am kind of close, I'm pretty distant on leveling from 98 to 99. Okay, here we go. Alright, scrutiny. And then collector's focus. Nice! Let's do a single hit of this. Okay, that's fine. I don't have to take it any higher than that. So we'll do the same thing as before. Ageless words. Okay, no Eureka this time. Or, no, Wise to the World, rather. So we'll do a single collection. And then we'll hit Ageless words again. And no dice. Okay. Okay, so that gives us 4 of them. We'll head over to this tree for the 5th one. I should probably use a cordial. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to get collectability up to at least 600. Let's go scrutiny. And then hit that. Okay, good. So we can get there in 2 hits. And now we just collect. And that's it for this. Back to Tulliola. Alright, so let's go ahead and hand these over. Okay, we're gonna miss out on 7 scripts, but that's fine. Alright, that's Botanist to level 97, so you can see how quick this is to get yourself leveled up. You've left me speechless once again. I'm almost afraid to examine your delivery for fear of tarnishing its beauty. I shall have to maintain a delicate touch. This is more than suitable. Good work, Prince. You're quite good at this, I must admit. How many hours do you reckon you've spent searching for the Earth's finest bounties? Oh, probably over 100 at least. Probably more. I am returned. Wood cuttings and amethysts. I hope they are up to your discerning standards. Welcome back, Uvlo. Let's have a look. Oh my. Well, I can certainly sell the wood cuttings as they are, but these amethysts, they're almost flawless. Where did you find such a rich vein? I'm something of an expert in the subject of minerals, you see. I hail from the snow-capped mountains of Skate Range, where we have naught but rock and snow to gaze upon. To the untrained eye, one stone is much the same as another, but some house singular essences, which we have learned to identify. My people believe these to be the souls of our forebears, returned to their ancestral home, and we carry them on our person as a form of protection. The Skate Range? I've never been, but your words paint a picture well enough. Few in my own continent have traveled so far, to say nothing of travelers from Tyrol. Do you have a map, Prince? I believe it would do Master Shunya well if we consulted it. Here, the Skate Range. Dominating central Othard, the mountains mark the border between the Burn and the former kingdom of Dalmasca. My clan is known as the Vina Viera, and their settlement can be found in and around the Skate Range. Kuguma, my village, is among them. As is common with other Viera clans, the women oversee day-to-day life in Kuguma, while the men dwell outside its gates as protectors. The land is harsh and unforgiving, but the knowledge of our ancestors teaches us how to hunt when prey is scarce, and forage when frost kills all but the hardiest plants. In this way, we lived until the Garlean Empire rose like a blight upon the earth. Although we were never threatened by them directly, the nations we called neighbors fell one by one to their ambition. Our elders decided to cut off all contact with the outside world, but as time went on, more and more came to realize that such extreme measures were untenable. And so, some years back, it was decided that one among us would journey into the outside world to gather the most precious resource of all, knowledge. They must grasp the complex workings of the larger world, attuning themselves to the pulse of modern life until it beats within their own. Then, they must return to the village and teach all they have learned. And you are this person, I take it? My family name, XIV, means cloud. And like a cloud, I drift from land to land, eventually returning to my home to provide the nourishing rain of knowledge to my people. I see. That's why you're so eager to learn of the Shitona. From their way of life, I hope to extract valuable nuggets of wisdom that will help my own people. When I heard of the Shitona, I imagined how we Viera would live across the sea. How would our long lives play out in a different environment? What sort of society would we build? People so far apart, but so similar. I had to see for myself how you fared. I apologize for speaking so long. Thank you for lending us your map, Prince. You bear a heavy responsibility. I do, I admit, but my village is my family. Although my path is not an easy one, I would climb even the sheerest cliff for their sake. You really would, wouldn't you? Never mind that. Thank you for sharing your story with us, Uvlo. And thank you both for a job well done. I look forward to hiring your services again, Prince. Junya is delighted with your efforts. He now considers you a great gatherer. Alright, before we proceed, I need to dump these scripts, so we're going to head over to Solution 9. And now here's the thing. Early on in the expansion, it's important that you pick up a certain thing for your gatherers. And we'll take a look at that in just a moment here. So that thing that I'm talking about here is available from the Script Exchange. And if we go under Script Exchange, and we go under Gather Script, you're going to have this category, Regional Folklore Materials and Miscellaneous. That's what you want to go under, and then you want to go under Folklore Items. And this is where you're able to get the different tomes of folklore, which basically unlock additional items that you're able to gather. And so, for my case, the next one I need to get is Alexandria here. And then I'm also going to grab the Alexandria for botany as well. And then I'll be working on the rest of the botany after this. And then I'm going to leave the fishing for last, just because I usually don't do much fishing as a gatherer, if I'm being honest. Usually I just leveling up, and that's it for the expansion, unless something, like, really requires it. Alright, those tomes are right here. Let me go ahead and use them. Alright, we'll get rid of this since I don't need that one. Alright, let's head back to Tuliolol. actually, technically, now that I think about it, I still need to convert my old scripts. So you know what? Let me make a little detour here to Mordona to do that. And that way I can get more of these out of the way. Whenever an expansion happens, they usually sunset some old scripts as well as tomestones, and you're able to hand those in to basically upgrade them. Now, this says Yellow Script Exchange, but Yellow Script Exchange was from the last expansion. I guess they forgot to update it. But if we go here, we can just convert them over. So, White Gatherer scripts, and unfortunately, it doesn't let me do it like kind of piecemeal. So actually, I need to spend some scripts first here. All right. In that case, we're going to continue on until I get 1,600 of the scripts, at which point we'll then head over to Solution 9, pick up a book, and then convert these. All right. It's different with the tomestones, though. Those will convert at a rate of 1 to 2, so, or 2 to 1 rather. So it's I mean, I get why they do it. The purples have become the new whites effectively for the scripts, both for crafters and gatherers. All right, let's see what level this quest is. This is 95, so actually, then in that case, we're at the point where I want to swap over to Miner. Good to see you, Prince. Come to see how business is doing? I have finished my work. If you require Prince's aid, then allow me to help. Of course. I'm grateful to have such an eager worker in my employ, but I must remind you to rest. Even you have a limit, surely. My masters trained me well for my role. An endless journey requires endless vitality, and I was prepared to endure such a trial. Well, I have no reason to mistrust your judgment, but I know how tiring a long journey can be, so don't hesitate to take a constitutional at your leisure. You do? I thought you rarely ventured past the city's gates. Oh, you seem busy. Should I return later? Wapyota, welcome. Feel free to browse my wares. My employees here shall be glad to help with anything you might require. I wasn't sure how to say that name. Employees? You hired more? 2 more? I hoped against hope that you'd quit this foolish distraction after that old codger retired. Just how many moons do you intend to stay cooped up in this city, playing shopkeep like a child? If there's anything you wish to order, simply say the word. That is why you're here, isn't it? You never did listen. Fine. If you insist on keeping this up, then I could use cleansing supplies for the household. You know where to make your delivery. That was my sister. Born of a different mother, but my sister all the same. Among the Shitona and the Viera where you hail from, I wager it's not an uncommon circumstance. The gender of my people becomes apparent as we grow. The large majority are women, with men being somewhat of a rarity. Thus, we generally do not marry a single partner, as is common with other peoples. Most of us have siblings from different fathers or mothers. But regardless of blood, a customer is a customer, and her order must be fulfilled. A delivery of supplies that our people use to cleanse their homes is in the midst of bustling cities. Sprigs of saka, sage, and purifying water from the Nikwiripi. I'm completely out of both, so I'm tasking you with journeying to Shaloni and gathering whichever best suits your skills. I shall go too, and bring back what Prince cannot. Okay. Apologies about my sister's less than friendly attitude. Nevertheless, she has made an order, and it's our duty to fulfill it. Okay. Alright, so we are headed to Shaloni. And it looks like we're headed all the way over to the east for this one. Yep, there we are. Okay. Oh, nice. This is one that has an extra point of integrity on it. Okay. So, just like last time. Actually, first, my food ran out, so let me take care of that. Okay. So, scrutiny, and then collector's focus. Okay, so no bonus on that one. This will technically take me over 600. Okay, we got a crit off of that. Okay, fine. So we can go Solid Reason. And then Wise to the World. And Collect. And then we'll hit Solid Reason one more time. We don't need the extra Wise to the World. I mean, I'll hit it, but it's not really gonna do much for us here. Alright, and that's it. Back to Tuliolol. So like I said, this time I'm going to stop when I get up to 1600 scripts. Okay, there's the point. So we'll deliver these. Excellent work, Prince, although I shouldn't be surprised. I admit I'm half tempted to keep this delivery for myself, but alas, Uvlo should return soon, and then we can get everything together to send to my sister. Okay, so now we're going to head over to Solution 9, so I can pick up yet another book of folklore. Also, I should be using one of these, survival thingies. We go under script exchange. And then folklore. We'll grab Dawntrail for botanist. And now we're going to head over to Mordona. That way we can exchange these in, or rather we can exchange in the old white scripts. And pick up even more of the tomestones, or more of the books. So, I'm losing out on 60 of them, but that's fine. There we go, exchange complete. Once again, we'll head over to Solution 9. And again, each of these books expands how much I have knowledge of in terms of being able to gather things. We'll be able to pick up 2 more books now. That'll finish off botanist, and this will give me the start into fishing. There we go. And with any luck, with what remains of the rest of the deliveries, that'll give me what I need for the rest of the books. Alright, back to Tuliol. I still need to do that exchange with my crafter scripts, but that's, I'll handle that later. Apologies about my sisters. Okay, you already said that before. Alright, and you said that before as well. Everything seems to be in order, and all to my standards. Thank you both once again. You said these cleanse your homes? How exactly? Do they keep insects away, or perhaps they keep the floors clean? Indeed, they do serve such purposes, but more importantly, they're essential to upholding Shitona customs. Even among those of us living in cities, keeping in harmony with nature is of the utmost importance. All things breathe the energy of life. The earth and sea, the rivers and forest, the rain, wind, and sun. Every animal that walks, swims, or flies is beholden to this energy. By attuning ourselves to its flow and availing ourselves of its blessing, we become a part of it, and thus a part of every living thing under the heavens. And so, when we choose a place to live, we do our best to keep things as they are. We fell trees only when absolutely necessary, or else live in the natural shelter of caves. Some of our small settlements even make use of buildings abandoned by other peoples. Of course, the Shitona are not a monolith, and since the Dawn Servant unified Tyrol, many have come to hold different values to their ancestors. Nowadays, Shitona are not an uncommon sight, even in a metropolis like Tuliolal. Some even consider embracing change to be part of nature's flow. However, no small number of city-dwelling Shitona feel an utmost unbearable sense of suffocation when inside cramped buildings. I see. I suppose these supplies are a way of allowing nature's blessing into your homes and maintaining your connection to its cycle. Exactly. Saka Sage is native to the wilderness of Shaloni and is purported to be closely linked to the greater power flowing around us, which lends it potent cleansing properties. The Wachumeqimeqi feeds into several bodies of water, Lake Tori among them. Such water passes through countless valleys and under vast reaches of sky, and connects us to that unfathomable journey. Yup, Yota lived near those waters for some time, in fact. After her children set off on their own journeys, she settled down in Tuliolal with a new family, but she still maintains a strong connection to the natural energy she was once surrounded by. So we'd best not keep her waiting, eh? I would go myself, but I had enough of her scoldings for one day. Could you go in my stead, Prince? You can expect a satisfactory reward for your troubles, I promise. Leave it to me. Of course, these quests are also good for getting high core drill as well, which is basically one of the most important items for gatherers to have. Shunya is overjoyed with your efforts. He now considers you a gifted gatherer. A new quest continuing the story of Shunya's apothecary is now available. Upon its completion, the Wachumeqimeqi deliveries list for Shunya will be updated. I finished putting together Yota's delivery. Please be careful with it. She lives in the Resplendent Quarter. Here, I've marked it on your map. Master Shunya, I would go along with Prince with your permission. Consider it a diversion from my work. You have been urging me to take time to relax after all. You have a strange idea of relaxation, but I see no reason to object. Very well, you both can deliver this package to my sister. Apologies for the imposition, Prince. Let us depart at once. Also, my retainer should be back any second here. Actually, they're ready right now. Alright, send you right back out. Oh, actually, you just leveled up, so what do you have access to now? You got access to some stuff, but the problem is you don't have the item level. Let's see if we can fix that. Yeah, we do that, and then I give you the Mandeville's shield. That should be good for a bit at least here. Alright, I would say Brax Hide is probably the thing I'm going to need. And then as for my miner... Mining... Yeah, I'm gonna send you for ruthenium ore. Okay, moving on. Oh, you two. I saw you at my brother's shop, yes? I take it he asked you to deliver my order? Yes, everything's here. I must say, these materials are of higher quality than I've come to expect. My brother has had a good stroke of fortune with you two, it seems. I apologize for my conduct before. It was unbecoming of me, and I hope to make amends. But above all, please help my brother succeed in his endeavors. You appeared rather unsupportive earlier. I was under the impression you wished he would quit his shop and leave the city. Why? Surely life here is not so terrible a prospect. I thought there was something different about you. You don't hail from Tyrol, do you? My people value living in harmony with nature above all, and settle only where that harmony won't be disrupted, in small villages usually. They are built and maintained by our women. The men travel from village to village, fostering our bonds with one another. Our families are built upon the relationship between parent and child. When a child is born, their mother and father become inextricably bound to each other as well. Mothers live with their children until they become independent, while fathers continue to travel. As the seasons turn, the men visit their families in each village they pass through. Although their time together is fleeting, it's always precious. We talk until the small hours of the morning, sharing all that has happened since last we met. The fathers tell us how the villages fare, and it makes our small settlements feel so much larger. Although there is no one place we can point at to as the home of the Shitona, we are connected in this way like the roots of a great tree. Fascinating. We Vieira lead such different lives, yet even so, there are shades of similarity. I take it Shunya did not always live in Tuliolal then? He used to travel the lands as well. The bond with his first family was formed in a small village to the north, among the tall mountains. Yet not long after his departure one season, the village was suddenly destroyed. None survived. How long ago? No one knows exactly what happened, but those who saw the aftermath said that nothing but scarred and scorched earth remained. A terrible sight. Okay, that might have been... what's its name? Tritok. Since that day, Shunya ceased to travel. For 50 years, he's lived in this city all alone. Oh, wait a minute. We saw claw marks yesterday, didn't we? up in those mountains, near the Yakui. Maybe that's where they were. Since that day, Shunya ceased to travel. For 50 years, he lived in this city, all alone. "50 years? That means... How many winters has Shunya seen exactly?" He was born shortly after the formation of Tuliyola, so that would make him 80 or so, I suppose. 80? All this time I have been a fool. His nature so amiable, I thought him to be the same age as I. How could he forgive my utter rudeness, prying into his past without paying him the proper respects? I must apologize, to save my honor and my life. How old are you, Uvlo? I have seen but 22 winters, a babe compared to Shunya. Viura men must pay the utmost respect to their elders. Those who forget this do not live to become an elder themselves. Is that how things are with your home and potentially not here? I must make amends with Shunya. You are his sister. Please, tell me what I can give him. I don't think Shunya cares, but you seem quite insistent, so perhaps something he could sell in his apothecary? A Pelu friend of mine told me that in the highlands of Urkopacha, one can find many rare plants and minerals, flowers that bloom but once in many moons, emeralds with enchanting patterns, and more besides. A brilliant idea. I shall depart to Urkopacha at once and collect the finest items I can. Prince, I must request your aid. Although the burden of shame is solely mine to bear, I fear that I alone cannot gather enough items to make up for the magnitude of my disrespect. Will you agree? Please, would you be my you would be my savior. Thank you, Prince. I shall leave at once. Let us meet again at the apothecary to deliver my offering. Alright. We're looking for a precious metal. Here we are. And it looks like that's it, so I'll just grab some of this lar ore as well. Okay, let's make our way back to the city. Now, this isn't part of the delivery, so I'm going to go ahead and actually switch over to Botanist, get just a little bit more experience on that one. Welcome back, Prince. Uvlo told me about everything. Most emphatically, I might add. There's much I would say on the matter, but as I'm taken to understand you brought me a gift, I would happily receive it from you first. My word, Uvlo's gift alone left me speechless. This is surely more than I deserve. Materials of this quality can only be gathered by truly skilled hands. I'm grateful, you can be sure. All is forgiven, Uvlo. In fact, there's nothing more. There's nothing for me to forgive. As Uapyota told you, my people live with their mothers until they come of age. From her, they learn all the skills and knowledge they need to flourish, without any strict hierarchy among the men. While I appreciate your gesture, I would be much obliged if we could continue on as we have been. I thought that was going to be the answer here. Well... As you wish, Master Shunya. I'm glad we've reached an understanding. Now, let's get back to work, shall we? Before that, regardless of whether or not I owe you respect, I still pried into your past only to sate my own curiosity, and for that, I am deeply sorry. There's no need. It wasn't as if I meant to keep it a secret. So let me clear the air. What Uapyota told you was true. My travels ended 50 years ago, after I lost my family. To us, death isn't something to be mourned. It's merely another part of the cycle of life. I should have carried on, and found a new family in a new village. But I couldn't. Not while the cause of my family's death remained a mystery. Do you truly know nothing? The complete destruction of a settlement, even a small one, surely would not have gone unnoticed. I think you underestimate how small. You could count the number of houses on one hand. To reach the nearest proper village, we had to traverse 2 towering mountains. Few could have witnessed the incident. The scale of destruction was too great for bandits. Many have suggested that a Tural Vidral was to blame. I was lodging in the aforementioned village where the tidings reached me. A few days prior, a streak of light had scarred the skies, so bright that it was clearly visible even in daytime. It disappeared behind the mountain peaks, and soon after the earth trembled. The trees and mountains shook, and wind bore dust through the valleys. Yeah, this is starting to sound like Valagarmonda. Or it could just be a meteor. This happened 20 years ago? Or 50 years ago? Wouldn't have been Bahamut then. Perhaps magic's called a star down from the heavens. That's a good reference to the ending of 1.0. I looked into that possibility, but neither the palace seers nor well-traveled mercenaries said they knew of any magics that could cause such wanton destruction. The only conclusion that made sense was that it was a meteor, sent from the heavens to fall upon my family's home by pure chance. Anyway, it's only a theory. You would think the evidence of such a tragedy would be more definitive, but it hasn't quite been that easy. Wait a moment, please. Perhaps we should investigate this. Figure out what happened. What is this? Stones like this were found scattered about in the ruins, as if the heavens themselves wept to see the devastation. I've taken to calling them azure tears. Having been in this business for so long, I can hazard a guess as to their true nature. And I believe that proof of what befell my family must lie within these fragments. Even so, decisive evidence continues to elude me. Then again, perhaps my desire for answers causes me to see connections where there are none. But even if I wanted to, I can't let it go. Alright, back to Minor. Welcome back to my apothecary, Prince. I always appreciate you stopping by. We're busy as ever, as you can see. Although since we last met, Uvlo has been acting strangely. He brushes off all my attempts to help and works with a singular focus. I think he still believes he crossed a line in asking about my past, and is focusing his efforts more than usual to make up for his perceived affront. Which is to say, I've no work for you today. Well, if our tasks for the day are done, I think we should try to unravel the nature of these azure tears you found. Aha! I understand now. You're squared away today's work so quickly because you had hoped to employ Prince's energies on the tears. Not exactly, yet I admit the thought did occur to me. I have found it difficult to think of aught else as of late. What could those stones possibly be? Truth be told, I can scarce imagine how we might prove they are connected to a meteor. Just as difficult as it is for me to admit, Master Shunya, your theory remains just that. Yet if we were to find similar crystals at another location where meteors had fallen, what then? Would that not provide sufficient evidence that the two phenomena are related? I don't think you'll find anything. I've asked all who would listen if they've seen anything resembling the tears, but even the most worldly of my connections say they are quite singular. Perhaps they are the only objects of their kind in this world. In that case, they would be rarer than any precious jewel. I believe your inability to find any information on them gives us all the more reason to look. Prince and I have yet to search for them, after all. And you know our skill at finding the rarest of specimens. I want to know the truth. You too? Very well, but I'll only make this imposition on you once. You've done enough for me already. Now, there are several locations in Chiral where meteorites have fallen in the past. The Seshudros crater is purported to be the largest by scholars who study such phenomena. However, over the years, nature has healed the scar left behind. Soil has accumulated and trees have taken root. Now the area is known as Yaktel. But I doubt a little earth and wood can deter you. Somewhere under all that wildlife, you may find material that has lain there since the meteor struck. If you find something that resembles the tears, then we may be able to solidify a theory of what transpired 50 years ago. We'll know they came from a meteorite, at least. Well then, let us waste no time. Off to Yachtel we go. And we are headed to XIV. Rainy day over here. Oh, Praxkin map. Yeah, I'm gonna save that for later, because I don't know if there's a better map yet or not. It says it's for 8 players, though, so it probably is the best we could get. You know what? It's fine. I'll grab it. Now we're headed to a different spot so I can get a full bar of integrity. Hey, this one has 6 on it. That's perfect. Alright, scrutiny. And... that's fine. We'll scrutiny again. Okay. And now solid reason. And wines to the world. That gives me the 6. Back to Chuliolol. I'm sorry that you got roped into this, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you can find all the same. What we seek is most likely in Yachtel. You'll have to dig deep, but I know you're equal to the task. Okay, so this gives me 15 million experience points. That'll push me into level 99. And that means the next one will be enough to get my miner up to level 100. Amazing. This is plainly composed of materials entirely different to those found on the surface of Yachtel. Much more dense, much older, and shaped so beautifully besides. You've done well, Prince. With both your and Uvlo's samples, we may be able to reach a conclusion at last. Did you discover aught? Well, I was able to detect small fragments of deep blue substance. And when I shined a light on it, its color did indeed resemble the tears. But even so, there wasn't enough. As far as my abilities can discern, there's no way to say for certain that the two substances are one and the same. They mentioned blue. Is it possible it was ceruleum that exploded? On impact? Like a meteor filled with ceruleum? I see. Yet you admit a possibility that they might be related. These are good tidings. We simply need to keep digging, and eventually we will find a sample large enough to give us a definite conclusion. I did not expect this journey to be finished after just one outing. I shall return to Dawntrail as many times as it takes. Why must you do this yourself, Uvlo? You needn't feel obligated to help me resolve this personal matter. At the end of the day, it won't teach you any more about the Shitona. You are correct. I admit that digging deep into the soil is not a task that will help my people thrive. Yet hearing Lapyota speak with such affection about her family, and seeing you suffer so deeply from the loss of your own, I came to a realization. Though we may call ourselves by different names, both of our peoples cherish family above all. If my village suffered the same fate as yours, I would not rest until I found the cause. I could not suffer to live with myself otherwise. And I know you feel the same. That is why you still have the tears, even though they hold not but painful memories. Before, you said that your long years running this shop allowed you to guess the stones were related to your tragedy. But I know that deep down, you started this apothecary because you knew it would bring you closer to an answer. As your employee, it is only meet that I should help you achieve this goal. Allow me to help you, Master Shunya. So reckless you are in your own journey, but so diligent in helping me along in mine. I hope you've at least managed to save a handful of coins since coming here. If we're going forward with this, I must ask that you spare Dawntrail future digging. I wouldn't sacrifice the region's natural beauty in my quest, nor damage another's home. There has to be a different way, but I shall require time to find it. When I do, I only ask that you be there to help, Prince. Can I count on you? I'll be there. Thank you, truly. I'll have to sell a good portion of my stock to pay back the debt I'll owe you after all is said and done. Shunya is thrilled with your efforts. He now considers you a glorious gatherer. The next request will be available from Shunya upon reaching level 100 as a botanist or miner. Okay, so I actually can't do another one until I actually hit that point. So that's a shame that that experience is going to be wasted. Okay. But good to know, I guess. So, in that case, I need to get to level 100 in a hurry. Let's see. So the best way to do that is probably going to be collectibles, or I could also do some some of the leaves as well. When do all these pop up? This is gonna pop in a few minutes. Okay, then let's go. We'll get this one, and then that'll then transfer into this one, and then we'll see where we stand after that. Okay, so for this, I need to head over to Shaloni. This will pop in about a minute or so. Yeah, as you can see, a minute on Eorzea ticks every couple of seconds or so. I have my food now. Actually, is this the best one for me to go for? Yeah, because it's the higher level one. I mean, I could technically hit both of them now that I think about it. Within the time window. Oh, here's one. Unless they're both at the same spot. Maggot's like... Okay, I need clear vision. No, I need, where is it? Sharp vision. Alright, and we're gonna go scrutiny. And collector's focus. Alright, collector's focus one more time. Alright, we're able to collect 5 of these. Okay, pop a cordial, and now the other one, oh, that is where it was. Okay, it was the titanium gold. Alright, then all we can do now is head over to here for the next one. And we'll hope that this is enough to get us to what we need to be at. And then if it isn't, I mean, there are leaves that will get us like the last little bit we need. But I'm hopeful this will be enough. It'll pop somewhere in here in just a few moments here. But we are going to be waiting for a few seconds here, so just bear with me while we wait for this to pop up here. Come to think of it, this is going to take a little bit here, so I guess I could do, like, maybe 1 or 2 crafts while we're waiting. Let me kind of stick myself in a corner. After food and drink, and we're gonna put together Thunderyard Silk. This will be the only one we get done. Then we'll be back on the Gather. All right. Actually, it looks like that gear was about to break. I'll go ahead and repair. Okay, back to miners. Oh, and actually, I need to extract materia here. This will stay up for a few minutes still. While I do this. This basically gives me access to additional materia that I can just slot in. And you get this as you either fight, or you gather, or craft more. It's not the same as retrieving material. That retrieves the material that you have in the slots. Extracting is just simply, imagine each piece of gear has its own experience bar, and when it's complete, it forms a new materia. And then you can extract that, and it starts over from the start of its experience bar. Okay. Let's get on this now. forgot to switch my food back. Oh well. Okay, if those are enhanced, I'll take it. Alright, that gets me there. And now solid reason. Wise the world. And that gives me 5 to collect. This should be enough. There's no way this is not going to be enough. Alright. Let's head to Solution 9, hand these in, and get level up. Okay, that sucks. It didn't actually... It's not letting me hand in the level 100 ones that I gathered. I would have thought I would have had access to it, since I'm only one level below at this point. Alright, then we got no choice. We gotta run a couple of leaves real quick, and then we'll be able to finish this up. Alright, thankfully I have some already picked up. Cosmauka... Yeah, these are all Cosmauka ones. Unfortunately, the map is not pointing me to where I need to go, so I gotta kind of figure it out. Map, here we go. Okay, that one's to the south of here. Here they are. This one is simply collect 35 of them, and you fail if you don't get 35. But considering my collection rate is 100%, I will hit it regardless. Thankfully, I do have one crafter that's already at 100, so that... so for the next one, we won't have to worry about this. which might give us enough experience here, actually. Yeah, that says 2.9. Yeah, we're already past that point, so this is the only league we have to do. I'm still curious if I can hand things in on my botanist, though. For the last part, I mean. Okay, that one's done. We need to head to Tuliolol. And there we have it, level 100 miner, breaking rocks in the hot sun, X 5 points. Alright, now we can head back over to the other side. You're here just in time, Prince. I would seek counsel from my best gatherers. Uvlo, a moment, if you will. Before we begin, I would once again like to offer my thanks. What you brought back from Dawntrail was more than I could have imagined. Even so, our efforts were lacking. We still have yet to identify the origins of the tiers. Have you thought of where we might go next? In a manner of speaking, I suppose, but I must warn you, I can't say for certain we'll find anything. Most of my knowledge of the tiers comes from stories I've heard from fellow merchants. In fact, it was a merchant from XIV who suggested Dawntrail as a place of inquiry, given its history with meteorites. We often exchanged information as well as goods. And although the lead ultimately bore no fruit, looking back, I believe my mistake was relying solely on incomplete information. You need a perspective from Mook to complete the whole picture. I see we're on the same track, Prince. The merchant in question was of the Chabral, and as such may not have been privy to information from Mook. Although the two tribes are now at peace, their history is one of conflict. Even if the merchant hadn't been one of their ancestral enemies, the Mamuja who populate Mamuk are known to be wary of outsiders. I understand times have changed in that respect, but I wonder how realistic it would be to try and seek information in Mamuk. Leave it to me. You've been there before? Of course. We've been working together for so long, I almost forgot about your storied history. Obviously, the right of succession brought you to every corner of Tyrol. Then I would give you this task, Prince. Go to Mamuk and speak with the people there. Perhaps someone has seen something that resembles the tears. You should accompany him. I can manage the shop well enough in your absence. That is kind of you, truly, but if you're even half as good at gathering information as you are at gathering materials, then your talents would be wasted here. Please, go with Prince. I shall remain here and await your gift of good tidings. You can be sure of it. Then let us depart for Mamuk. Alright, we are headed to Mamuk then. We are here. I suppose now we split up and speak with whomever we see. You disagree? Ah, yes. Master Shunya did mention the Mamuja here are wary of outsiders. Then you take the lead, Prince. I shall follow and learn. Okay, Uvlu is accompanying us. I was taken to understand that Mamuk was a rather isolated settlement, yet an aetheryte stands at its entrance. It makes me wonder whether one could be built in my village. Ah, 'tis a thought best forgotten. I hear the cost of maintaining an aetheryte is quite exorbitant. Every day I spend in the outside world, I realize more and more how it revolves around money. Oh, I recognize you. You were with Bakuljaja, weren't you? What business do you have with one such as me? A crystallized stone, shaped like a teardrop? I can't say I've seen such a thing. If I had, I'm sure I would have remembered it. Do you think I remember every single rock I lay eyes on? That's the one thing we don't have any shortage around here. Maybe if rocks could fill a hungry belly, I'd pay more attention to them, but they can't, so I don't. Now leave me be. Okay. Can't you see I'm resting? Why are you asking me about crystals? Just take a few steps into the wilderness and you'll practically trip over them. Eh? What do you mean that's not what you're looking for? And why do you think I care? I cannot say I have ever seen statues quite like these before. I take it these designs are meant to evoke a Mamuja's head? Of course, I understand the desire to immortalize one's forebears with stone objects. My people do much the same. Yet to build structures of stone in the middle of such lush forest, no matter how many times I see it, I always find it peculiar. Alright. Where is this person? Here you are. Why, isn't this an interesting line of inquiry? Dawntrail was once rich with ores of all hues, but I've never heard of one shaped like a teardrop. It would take a skilled artisan to make a shape like that. Perhaps if some force were applied to the ore right at the moment of crystallization, or perhaps if tears themselves were crystallized. Ah, but those are only idle thoughts. Either way, I've never seen such a thing with my own eyes. So what have we learned? Not much of use from where I stand. Prince, if you will, I suggest we approach our questioning from a different angle. If we can say one thing for certain, it is that the stone is rare indeed. So instead of seeking it outright, perhaps we should first seek someone who collects such objects. Good, then we are decided. Let us not lose heart yet. Alright, so to the northwest. A gatherer? In Mamook? A friend of mine had a particular knack for it. Every time he came back from a scouting mission, he would have some rare specimen in his hands. It was a nice way to earn some extra coin. He's no longer with us, unfortunately, but his grandson works at Wachumeqimeqi Grove, and I hear is a deft hand himself. The boy's name was... Okay, that's a hint. A collector of rare stones and plants, you say? I'm sure I've heard of at least one. Ah, yes, I do remember recall the young Gosalja mentioning his grandfather had quite the collection. He used to bring back all sorts of bits and bobs back from his reconnoiters. I admit it's been quite a while since I've spoken to Gosalja, so I cannot say whether he held on to his grandfather's belongings. That story sounded very familiar. I believe this Gosalja grandfather may be the very collector we seek, or may have been, rather. Still, the obvious course of action is to speak with Gosalja and see if he still possesses any of his grandfather's belongings. Let us depart to Wachumeqimeqi Grove. To Wachumeqimeqi Grove we go. Everywhere we are surrounded by trees of unimaginable height. I feel so small in comparison. The clan of Vieira, known as the Rava, who dwell within Gulmore Jungle, would likely be unmoved by such a sight. Instead, their eyes would seek out places where their natural complexion would allow them to blend into the surrounding foliage. By contrast, the Vieira of my tribe are more suited to camouflaging themselves among the snow-capped mountaintops. Still, the fauna of this place does have a unique coloring. Perhaps I could disguise myself if I so desired. Would you turn around for a moment, Prince? That seemed to be going somewhere, but no. Oh, hello. Did you need something from me? You are Gosalja, yes? Grandson of a renowned collector, as we have heard? I am, and my grandfather was indeed fond of showing off his collection, but how in the world did you know that? We're looking for him. Well, that explains everything. Still, this is quite an unexpected visit. and we thank you for indulging us. So, did your grandsire's collection contain anything that might resemble the stones we told you about? Yes, your description made me recall one of my favorites, in fact. I'm sad to say I lost it when I was a child, though, but my memory of it is crystal clear. I see. Unfortunately, a memory is not enough for us to judge whether the two are related. I may know where he found it. As you heard, my grandfather served as a scout when the Mamuja and Chibral were at war. He was known as a swimmer without equal, and used the cenotes to travel to every corner of the forest unnoticed. Cenotes, these are the springs which dot the forest, correct? Are you saying they connect somehow? Yes. A network of tunnels runs under the earth. One can travel the width and breadth of the forest, if you know where to go, that is. I remember my grandfather said he found the crystal on a mission to Ikbrax. It was lying there on a cenote floor, as if waiting for him. It is likely that he found it in Ikbrax Soli, where the waters once ran red as blood. The Chibral would bury their fallen warriors there, and none expected a scout to be bold enough to trespass. This story has promise. The samples we found were pulled from deep layers of the earth, formed at a time immediately following the meteorite's impact. There is no telling how far down these tunnels reach, but doubtless they pass through the same layers. Naturally, material from these layers would corrode and settle at the bottom of the cenotes. Yes, this has promise indeed. Gusulja, you have given us a direction. Thank you truly. No thank you for allowing me to remember my grandfather so fondly. May you find that which you seek. Let us make our way over to Ikbrax Soli, Prince. Okie dokie. That being up there. Actually, there are a couple of spots I never revealed on the map, so let me see what I can do here. Let's throw him on Weaver. And we have a lookout point, too. And then once we reveal these spots, then we'll land and finish up the quest. That's one part. Mapping the realm, Dawntrail, 10 points. Alright. So this is Ikbrax Soli. I find it hard to believe these waters were once stained red with the blood of war. Luckily, the cenote is now clear, and our vision should be unclouded as we search. Or should I say, your vision. This is difficult to confess. You can't swim, can you? As you know, I was trained among the snowy mountaintops. You can imagine how poorly I might fare in a body of water. Although it shames me to place this burden on your shoulders, I would rather my soul not join those that were set adrift in this cenote. That is, of course, assuming you possess the skill that I lack. I got it. Good, good. Thank you, Prince. I have ever been able to depend on you when I find myself wanting. You shall be the example I strive to emulate in my future travels. I shall stay here and await your safe return. Good luck. Alright. There we go. The command wasn't triggering, and that's why I was a little too close to the wall still. Oh, and this is where raw pink barrel is. I need that, actually. I'll grab that one as well. In fact, I'll just go ham. You made it. You were down there for so long. I began to fear the worst. You must be half fish for how indefatigable your lungs are. So, did you find Op? To the best of my recollection, this looks almost exactly like the stone Master Shunya had. Its shape, that unmistakable blue. We did it, Prince. It appears our intuition was correct after all. This crystal is a remnant of a grievous wound dealt to the earth. 'Twas the case in ancient times, and 'twas the case 50 years ago. We must return to Master Shunya with haste. Alrighty, back to Tuliolol. And again, I think my retainers are ready, so let me check in with them real quick. Yep. And off they go again. I've never seen you two so excited to bring me a delivery. I take it something good is in store? Here is your Azure Fragment. Where did you... Did you really find this in Yoctel? But how? It was in a cenote. You dived to the bottom of the cenote? But the waters are so cold, and the caves so labyrinthine. Not to mention a single misplaced stroke would cloud your vision with sediment. Even so, here you are before me, and I'm more grateful for that than anything else. Shunya's apothecary could ask for none more skilled, none more brave than you two. I'll start examining this right away. Soon we'll have our answers. You found the impossible. I can say without a shadow of doubt that this fragment is made of the very same material as the azure tears I found in my ruined home. Have we proven your theory as to the true nature of those stones and how your village met its fate? I am now certain that these stones formed much in the same way as obsidian does near volcanoes. When minerals are melted by extreme heat, they cool into glassy lumps. In this case, when the meteor struck, the heat must have not only melted the earth, but sent it flying into the heavens. In the air, it cooled into the shape of wilted petals, the shape of tears. But they hold something else as well. The meteorite brought instantaneous destruction to the area of its impact. All the plants, animals, and people gone, their life force scattered into the air. I see. It is ether which sleeps in those stones. When that energy fails to return to the life stream, it crystallizes. Just so. I believe these are more than mere lumps of glass. The blue light is shining essence of all that was taken from me. For 50 years I searched, and for 50 years I knew one thing, that answers would never bring them back. And I knew that even if I proved the cause of my tragedy, that revelation would bring no comfort. Even so, the land of Tyrol wept that day, and for all that was lost in an instant. Now that I know that, I can move beyond my sorrow. I can remember my family as they were. Their smiles, those bright days we shared, our happiness. Thank you, you two. I feel as if a great weight has been lifted from my shoulders. Within nature's grand cycle, the life I lived back then shall remain a shining beacon. I knew you had not strayed far from your roots. We simply had to help you dig them up again. It may soon be time to depart upon another journey, the first in a long while. Not to find a new family per se, but to attune myself to nature's rhythm once again. You have brought me pieces of a much greater whole that I would rejoin. I shall let the wind's breath carry me where it will, and so long as the boundless horizon is before me, I shall walk. a worthy goal. Although you may tire of my praise, I'd like to express my thanks to you both once more. You would have been exceptional help if you did nothing more than gather what I asked, but you went far beyond that. Likewise, I learned more of the Shitona than I could have hoped. Yet my own quest is far from over. I would take this opportunity to go out into Tyrol and experience all it has to offer, the culture of the Shitona included. So if you indeed plan on leaving this city, I ask that you allow me to join you. Besides, a journey is only as good as your companions, or so they say. Why limit your journey just to Tyrol? You pose an interesting question. I can't say I have a particular destination in mind, so a trip across the salt would be as good as any. Perhaps I might find someone to guide me across the world's breadth in exchange for a ramble around Tyrol. Does anyone suitable spring to mind? Either way, these are decisions to be made in the future. For now, I don't intend to close up shop. Truly? Regardless of my reasons for starting this apothecary, I become quite fond of it, to say nothing of my loyal customers. Abandoning them without notice would be unseemly. And besides, how long do you believe you can travel with such a light coin purse, Uvlo? Sleeping under the stars and foraging for your own food will only take you so far. Soon you'll be penniless, and Tyrol's less hospitable climes might very well take you. I can. You can stay here and earn a bit more coin before our trek. I would be a terrible owner if I let one of my best workers be so reckless. So, for a while at least, let's continue on as we have been. There's so much more to be done, after all. I'll take the gathering points. You have completed all of Shunya's tasks. Shunya is ready to manage his apothecary with new insight to guide him. He now considers you a genius gatherer. There are doubtless others in Wachumeqimeqi who would welcome the aid of an able artisan. Speak with the other merchants and see how you can help. Yes, indeed. So, holistic gathering, 5 points. So that was the easiest of them, I believe. The rest, well, Donuhanu is the Fisher one. But as of right now, my Fisher is not quite where I need it to be in order to handle that. So we're going to have to look at a different one at this point. Let's see about Leatherworker and other stuff. Because, frankly, I need to get my Leatherworker up. Because I'm also working on putting together my my crafting and gathering set. As you can see, I've already got the gargantuan half gloves of crafting here. They are made at this point. So, actually, what do I still have to make? I need to make the pants. For that, I need Blackstar, which I believe I have. I think I threw it up on the market, and I'm not sure if anybody bought it yet. Or maybe somebody did buy it. Let me check the other. Okay, I think somebody did buy it then. In that case, I think I've got the materials I need to make more of them. Let me see. I need more magnesia whetstone, which, for that, I craft through Alchemist. So, okay, let me make a few of those first here. Nope, I did not actually get medicated. That's one annoyance that happens from time to time. You go to click a button, and you're not ready for it to actually go. Or rather, the character isn't ready for it to pop up. And then I saw there was a type of leather I also need. We'll look at that in a moment. So I think I'm starting to hear some test fires on some of the fireworks outside, so we must be getting pretty close. But I think... So I don't know if we're going to have time to finish up another of the Wachumeqimeqi here, but we'll see. But we can certainly at least get it started. I wouldn't expect the fireworks to be going off just quite yet. The sun is still out at this point. It'd be hard to see them. Okay, that's two of those. Let's switch over to Goldsmith. Okay, that's one. I guess I could get another minion out. Okay, So that's that. Now... Alright, let me put out a different one. Here we go. We'll bring Finding Way out. And then I need Weaver, and then what is it that I still need? I need Gomphotherium leather. Now, where do I get that from? Yeah, I didn't think there was a gathering for that. Crafting? Okay, I need acacia bark, and then... Alright, so then where do I get the skin from? Looks like I need to trade to a... I need to trade some gemstones for it. Do I have any? No, so I need to, in that case, head over to somewhere where I can get a fate done. So, let's make it Shaoloni. That one just finished. Nothing on the map, but there are multiple instances open, so we can take advantage of that. $317. What's going on? We'll join the group over there, I guess. And this will be a chance for me to also finish leveling up Paladin to 100. Okay, Paladin's about to level up, but I've also got a challenge log about to pop. So that's going to end up wasting experience. But we did just get enough of the gemstone, so I think we're good on that. We need to head to Heritage Found. Alright, then here's the gemstone trader. We need 4 of the skins. Okay. So, leather worker. And let's craft. And I'm probably overdoing it with how much high-quality stuff I'm giving into this. But I'd rather not miss if I can help it. there's the quality. Now to finish it up. Okay. And now I go on to Weaver. And now we have everything we need to craft this. Now I'll give it full high quality. Just be careful. Okay. Okay, now what I've been doing is, since the macro that I have isn't working completely at this point, is I actually bring up the macro itself that I use, and I kind of follow it, but I make manual changes as I go. So, let's see, we need manipulation, and then innovation. Let me move you over here. Okay. And then basic touch, standard touch, advanced touch, and then from here I can probably go ahead and just Byragot. So we'll do... We'll do Great Strides. Yeah, Byragot gets me there. Okay. And now with the rest of what's left here, I just have to get to the end. So... Veneration. Careful Synthesis. And then we'll do a Groundwork. And that's it. Yeah, so I could have used fewer high-quality ingredients in that, but at this point, I just don't want to risk it, that I wouldn't be able to finish the craft. But there we go. So that's my legs now. The only thing that I still need on the left side is the sandals. And for that, I need walnut lumber as well as more of that leather. So I'm going to have to do fates, at least for the leather here. But that's fine. Let me throw the pants into my armory chest here. If they wouldn't stack on top of each other. And now, if I go Carpenter, since this is my one level 100 set, so the reason it's doing this, where it's only giving me the chest and the legs, is because everything is over-melded at this point right now. And so it's only going to give me what it thinks is going to improve my stats. So for the other pieces, I need to over-meld those as well in order to get the full power out of them, or full control and craftsmanship out of them, basically. But even if I just do these two pieces, my craftsmanship jumps from in the 400s up to 42 4236 here. So that's still, you know, a good upgrade for me to have regardless. And then, of course, there's my tools. I think for those, I'm going to stick with not overmelding them. I'm just going to go with the scripts gear instead. But yeah, this is at least what the shirt and pants look like for this here. Has a very Native American look to it, I think. Or something Southwest, at least. Anyway, let's head back to Tuliolo. And we're gonna find out what it is that starts, that can do Carpenter. And we'll work on leveling other classes through the quests, and we'll just finish using Carpenter. Alright, so Pamika. So let's see what else qualifies. Leatherworker is actually the one I need the most help with here for experience. A very warm welcome to you, artisan from afar. Prince, was it? You stand before epistles by Pamika, and I am Pamika herself. Charmed though I am by your interest in my shop, I would like to confirm one matter. Tell me, can you read? Tirali script? I doubt it. Meaning you can read Eorzean script. Then you should have little trouble here. Tirali borrows the Eorzean alphabet, and you will find our languages share numerous similarities. We of Tuliolo speak Tirali with aplomb, yet it is a comparatively young language, as our traditional tongues place emphasis on oral storytelling over the written word. We have a sizable population of citizens who do not read or write. My services cater primarily to this clientele. I offer a writing hand when occasion demands, mostly for penning letters or official documents. However, I have just recently received a commission for something larger, a book of stories. These are tales which have never before been committed to text. A documentation of oral storytelling. A most riveting project, is it not? Alas, I find myself ill-prepared. While I possess paper required for simpler documents, I have no experience in binding tomes. Yet, with the skill of an adept leather worker at hand, I could accept this task with my head held high. What say you, traveler? Will you help me tie these tales together? Fear not, I'll cover you. That's a book joke. Leather cover for a book. Much obliged. Then let us report to our client and officially accept his request. His name is Zimoni, and he works at Zabalyavtai, the restaurant by the beach. I'll need a moment to close up shop, so would you go ahead and wait for me? And that's a place we also have to go, because we also have the role quests to look at. There's just so much content with this patch. This way. Okay, we're headed over here. Okay, they're on the upper floor here. Ah, Pamika, welcome. Good evening, Zimoni. I am pleased to say that we are ready to undertake your commission. Prince here will be binding your books, and my intuition tells me that none would be better suited to the endeavor. That's excellent news. The more the merrier. But where are my manners? My name is Zimoni. I'm relatively new to Tuliolol, but I've been earning my keep as a waiter here since I arrived. Tubalyatai is a haven for travelers from every region. If there's one thing I've learned in my short time here, it's that everyone's got a story to tell. From myths and legends to folk tales and anecdotes, our patrons shall share their nigh-endless supply of unique and fascinating tales. Inevitably, one regular or another will badger me into retelling an old favorite, so I try to memorize as many stories as are told. But my memory has its limits, and I'm afraid the details from so many different narratives might eventually become jumbled or forgotten, which is why I thought to record them in a book for all to enjoy. Of course, my people pass down our traditions via the spoken word, so I neither read nor write. Pamika may be an exception among Tanawata in that respect. Zimoni will tell his stories, and I will transcribe his words. No different than the dictation of a letter, except perhaps a bit longer. I also thought I might study my letters while you're both hard at work. I'd like to be able to read the books we make, after all. You should join us during transcription, if you'd like. Hearing each story might serve as inspiration for its binding. They're fascinating stories. I can't wait to see them as books. When would you like to begin? My schedule is relatively open right now, so I am available whenever you please. Then I'll pay your stall a visit once I've finished my shift. It shouldn't be too long now. Alright, let's head back. We will have our transcription sessions here. I have ready plenty of parchment and ink, so you needn't worry about that. However, there are still a few more preparations to be made before Zimoni's arrival, and your own business may call you elsewhere in the meantime. Stop by again when you're ready to begin. You may now undertake deliveries for epistles by Pamika. Speak with Pamika to learn more. Alrighty. You seem eager to start, and I'll admit, so am I. According to my research, we will require numerous components. Boards, covers, woven cords, the list goes on. Furthermore, a binding can be made of nearly anything. Wood, cloth, leather, the possibilities are endless. I'll leave the particulars to you and your artistic tastes. Once you have enough materials prepared, we will be ready to document Zimoni's tales. Okay, so let's see what they need. So we need handcrafted cover components. Alright. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, I have this stuff. Okay. Let's see. I know I put some stuff away to make room. Here's the leather. And I need the velvet. Oh, there it is. Okay. And we just need 6 of these. So away we craft. Stop that right there and move on to the next part of the craft. Again, you don't need max collectability on these. It's just my gear set is designed for 4-star crafting of the prior expansion, so I'm using, you know, that stuff. All the high-quality stuff. Yeah, that macro doesn't work. And I'm fine with not turning that piece in. All this stuff is material that I prepared for the expansion, so I just wouldn't have to... I wouldn't have to make it as well as everything else I was going to craft. So I like to think that at least some of my efforts have paid off here. Free to go. I could probably just stop that right there, actually. Again, I don't need max collectability. Okay, one more left. Alright, that's it. Toss this low-quality one. And let's hand these over. Actually, I'm gonna cap out on on scripts here in a second. Yeah, right there. My word, I knew you were an accomplished leatherworker, but your craftsmanship has surpassed every expectation. The finished product will be a sight to behold. In marking your first successful delivery, you have begun to earn Pamika's trust. Deliver the items Pamika needs, and deliver them often to bind Simone's tales into captivating tomes. Alright, I need to spend some scripts, crafting scripts this time, so back to Solution 9 we go! Also, I need to hand in those deliverables, the collectibles I couldn't earlier. Alright, script exchange. Here's the thing. Ultimately, I'm looking to get these new orange scripts here. I've already got all the master books that I need. Really, the only materials that are here are good for is for the prior expansion. So the best I can really hope to do here is to get materia, the number 11 materia here, since this is the new stuff, but it's used specifically for overmelding. Do 8 of those, and 7 of those. There we go. Collectible appraiser. Yeah, now I can hand these in. And you can see now that I'm able to get these orange scripts here. So I've got 180 of them now. But for the first thing that I need for gathering, for gear, I'm going to be making a new gathering set through crafting. But for the new pickaxe, that I need 700 of those, it looks like. For the pickaxe, and then for the botanist hatchet, and the fishing rod. As for secondary tools, let me see real quick. There is no new secondary tool. This is still old stuff. So, in that case, if I go under... This is probably under blacksmith. If I go here, and I head towards the bottom... Let's see. Primary. Here we go, secondary. So, secondary tool... Yeah, I can only get that through crafting. That's ultimately no problem for me. I'm able to make them, once I get the materials together. And then, eventually I'm gonna have to make some food as well. Direct hit determination, that's usually one that people go for. There's also a crit determination that people like to go for as well. But this one, the stats aren't as high. 90, actually, 113.68 versus... Okay, actually they are a little bit higher. But it's not max... It's considered item level 680 versus 690 down here for this one. And if I look at the high-quality version... Let's see. 121.73 versus... Yeah, that's a decent jump, 10 points. Although, it really depends upon when you hit that next tier of of stat breaks for your secondary stats. There are websites online that can teach you about that, but basically, depending upon where you currently stand on that, either of these might be better for you, depending on where your stats are sitting at the time. And then we still don't know what's happened with tenacity for tanks. That's the other thing. Square Enix made a revision to tenacity. We just don't know how much more powerful or weaker it's become at this point. That's going to take some time to crunch the numbers on. But if tenacity is now worth more than it used to be, that definitely changes how people may be melding stuff going forward. Alright. Alright, I think we're good to head back and hand in the rest of these. Tuliolol. Alright, let's hand in the rest of these. That's a level up for Leatherworker. Now then, whenever you are ready, Zimoni, we may begin. I think I'll start with a famous tale that has been passed down across generations of Hanu Hanu. It is a tale of their benevolent god, and of the crop that would enrich their very way of life. Long, long ago, the Hanu Hanu resided in a land beyond the clouds. Though their heavenly home was frigid, their enemies were few, and they whiled away their days dancing in the pale warmth of the sun. That sounds like the Vanu Vanu. But one day, a great storm ravaged these clear blue skies. The wind and rains raged upon those lands so fiercely, it sent a pair of Hanu Hanu tumbling down to the waters below. Yet what should appear but a giant bird, as big as an island, it flew up and caught the Hanu Hanu on its back. The kindly bird sailed upon the winds, over the great blue ocean, until finally it came to a land kissed by dawn, the land we call Tyrol. The couple was grateful to stand on solid ground again, but their journey had exhausted them, and their energies were spent. They searched high and low for something to fill their empty bellies, and it was there that they found the great bird once again, feasting upon verdant reeds. The Hanu Hanu followed suit. One taste of the sweet reeds filled them with vigor, and their feathers began to glisten with every color of the rainbow. It was then that the couple knew this great bird to be the god XIV. They tended the reeds in its honor, and their brood would grow and prosper, becoming the Hanu Hanu we know today. What do you think so far, Prince? Have you any inspiration for a suitable cover? Leave it to me. Splendid. I suspect Zimoni will have a few more Hanu stories to tell before we conclude here. We ought to construct our cover in the meantime. With your painstakingly prepared materials, you produce a cover befitting Zimoni's first batch of tales. You carefully bind Pamika's pages into the fold, and the tome is complete. It's a real book. I may not be able to read it yet, but just looking at it fills me with joy. Books are remarkable things, indeed. Stories told in speech alone will disappear with their tellers, but what is written is promised to survive. But that's my own romanticism showing through. More importantly, I greatly enjoyed your storytelling, Zimoni. About the Hanu who once lived above the clouds. A people called the Vanu, you say? From your description, they do sound like they might share common roots with Tyrell's Hanu. If you enjoyed those tales, I know plenty more like them. For example, the ones I heard the other day from a Pelu patron were fascinating. Theirs is a people with a talent for words. I'll have to practice ahead of time if I'm to do them any justice. Please do. We'll be happy to hear them whenever you feel ready. And so ends our first job. You were a pleasure to work with, Prince, and I have a feeling you'll continue to impress. Pamika is pleased with your efforts. She now considers you a cover collaborator. Greetings, Prince. If you're ready to proceed with our next cover, I have an idea I'd like to share. Zimoni said he had Pelu tales to tell us next, correct? In which case, I thought using materials sourced from the Pelu's ancestral home of Urkapacha might give our cover an authentic touch. A book about any given peoples should look at home amongst them, or so I think. Then it's settled. I trust you'll know just what the local materials we need. Alright. Let's see what we need for the next one. So I need snow cotton cloth, as well as hammerhead crocodile leather. Now, I believe I do have some of the skins, so let's see. Yes, I do. The Eblan Alaman, I've got that. Other one. There we go. This should be enough for 6 of them. Oh, I'm missing food. That's a shame. Okay, let's see if I can salvage this. I need veneration. $747. Is that enough to get me there? It is. Okay. So we do 3 careful synthesis, and that'll do it. There we go. Okay. Again, I'm probably going overboard on the crocodile leather here, but what can I say? This is just... I'd rather not take the chance. Check on those ventures in just a moment here. Alright, one skin to go. Okay, so now we have the leather for the next thing. If we come under Wachumeqimeqi... So I still need snow cotton cloth, and for that I need to gather that. Botanist, and then gathering log. Here we go, snow cotton. That comes from over there, so let's make a trip out there. I'll try to do this as quickly as I can here. I think I can hit that with food. Yeah, there we go. So this affects my gathering yield, so instead of 1, I get 2. And then if I go just full-blown on everything here... Okay, so that's a good start. I think I need 30. Let me verify that. What do I need? Snow cotton. I need 6 of these, so yeah, I need 30, so 1 more. Take what extra I can get. Alright, now we just need to make up the snow cotton. I'll do the first one as high quality, and then the rest I'll just do a quick synthesis. Okay. And now, quick synthesis, the rest of them. Hey, level 99 Weaver. Back to leatherworking. And let's make these up. I'm probably fine with just this if I'm being honest. Again, there's no need for me to hit max collectability on this. And I'll stop my macro once I hit that point. And you might be wondering why my macro doesn't immediately go off. Well, let me tell you something. Putting a weight at the start of the entire list has saved me a ton of materials that could have been lost otherwise. And the reason is simple. Sometimes I fat finger the wrong button. And having a 3 to 4 second wait before things actually trigger saves you a ton of materials from when you push the wrong button. Yeah, you're not able to fit as much into the macro when you do that. Sometimes you have to bring it to a second part. But I'd rather do that than have any wasted materials. I guess I should go over my macro real quick, just so you have it if you have any questions. Let me see. I need one more of these. So, bringing up the macro, I use these for the current level 91 to 98 crafts. So I start with reflection, manipulation, waste not 2, then go into a series of touches, and then bring out innovation towards the latter part of it. Finishing on a Byragot's Blessing. And then the second part of the macro is just waste not, veneration, and then groundwork, and then delicate synthesis in case there are any quality problems with the finale of the first part of the macro. And then for the high-end gear, what I do here is I start muscle memory, then manipulation, veneration, waste not, final appraisal. Not enough crafting points. We're fine. Synthesis. There we go. Yeah, so then I go into a series of groundworks, and then delicate synthesis, innovation, prudent touch, basic touch, standard touch, advanced touch, and then manipulation. Once again, manipulation will give you back some durability, innovation, increases touch, strength, and then basic, standard, advanced touch. And then at that point, then I stop and I see where I am in the craft. If I need it, I'll go into Prudent and Basic again. Otherwise, I jump straight to Great Strides and Byragot to finish it up. And then veneration, careful synthesis, groundwork to finish the progress. Those are the macros I use currently, but this second part of the 3-star durability, part 2 I call it here, I stop it manually once I get past the advanced touch. Because as of right now, if I go through all the touches, it does not complete for certain recipes. Maybe I could do something by doing, by moving a groundwork up here. It's something that potentially could be refined, but those are the two main macros I use. And then of course there's where is it? There's one, here it is, 1 to 70 crafting. Technically it's 1 to 80 crafting now, or 1 to 90, I guess. And what it is just train die, groundwork, and that's for anything that is 10 levels below your max level. You're able to use train die that just gives you 100% quality after the first move. All right, let's head back to Toledo. How am I doing on scripts? Plenty of room. Let's see, I need to send my retainers out again. Get the feeling I'm gonna need that Brax hide for another step here. Alright, Pamika. We'll require local materials from Urkapacha for our book of Perlipelli Tales. Did you find anything? Let's hand these over. That's 10,454,000 experience. That will level me up. Or no, I miscounted. Okay. Well, we're still pretty good here. Oh ho! Your elegant use of snow cotton has not gone unnoticed. With it, your cover is bound to radiate Pelipeli spirit. Let's see what tale we get this time. Today, I'd like to share a few stories about the Pelipelu. These days, we know them to be avid traders and seekers of profit, but this was not always so. Long before this nation was founded, the Pelipelu were a reclusive folk who rarely left the solitude of Urkapacha. Now, in one solitary village, there lived a Pelipelu named Siblith. The poor lad was sickly and short of stature, even compared to his diminutive fellows. With such a frail constitution, Siblith could neither work in the fields nor tend to the alpacas. But the village loved him even so, and he loved them in turn. They nursed him back to health in his times of need, and offered tasks that would not fatigue him. He only wished he could better serve them. Yet kindness cannot solve all ills, and in the year of the cold summer, crops withered upon the mountains of Urkapacha. The Pelipelu began to starve. They ate what remained of their food. They ate all their frail livestock. Siblin knew that they had reached their limits and snuck quietly from the village. With one less mouth to feed, his people would have more to eat. Finally, he had found a way to help. His mind made up, the poor Pelu made for the sacred mount, that he might fade from this world in its silence. As he began to climb, a spirit appeared and forbade him go any further. Siblit begged the spirit to let him pass and spoke about his village. The spirit was moved by the lad's fervent resolve and bestowed upon him a handful of leaves. "Return to your village," it said. "Your people must drink of these leaves." Siblit obeyed and steeped the leaves in hot water. When his people drank, their hunger miraculously faded. No Pelu succumbed to famine, and they all lived to see the coming year. So it was that the Pelu first encountered Mate T. Another impeccable book. Thank you, both of you. What a peculiar story. Of course, there's no telling whether it actually happened, but Mate Tea is rich in nutrients, and I've heard it's effective in relieving hunger as well. To me, the moral seems to lie in the virtue of caring for one another, that even in times of great difficulty, keeping others in your heart can lead to unexpected solutions. Well, I'd better be off. I still have some reading and writing practices to do. But next time, I think I'll share some tales of our Moblin customers. See you then. Well, you heard the man. It seems we'll be in for plenty of entertainment yet. Keep your tools sharp. We'll have another project on our hands before we know it. Mika is delighted with your efforts. She now considers you a beneficial binder. Okay. So, folks, at this point, the sun has gone down, and I am starting to hear fairly rapid fires from the firing from the rockets outside. So, I think this is the point where I'm going to have to call it for today. For those of you in the U.S., have a very happy and safe 4th of July. And with that said, thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.